Christine Lee has more on our big story.
That's right, Faye. DPS has a computer forensic unit which is investigating. However, they have not ruled out asking the FBI Cyber Crimes Task Force for help. Joining me this morning from Data Doctors is Ken Colburn. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, we talked a little bit before going on here right now. You said this is not necessarily a targeted attack on DPS officers.
Well, I think it is a target for DPS are going after this because of the SB-1070, but it wasn't like they went after the servers. They probably went after an individual, right? So this could have easily been a breach in somebody's home or just one of the machines that's connected with DPS, not the centralized DPS data system. Just looking at the files that have been exposed.
Okay, so basically this could happen to anybody.
Yes, absolutely. Likely what happened here is somebody clicked on something, somebody fell for something, and got what's called malware installed into the computer, which then allowed these hackers to remotely access their machine or just start intercepting files or what have you. Once you fall for one of these things, and you can get it through Facebook, you can get it through email, there's a million ways now to get infected if you're not paying attention. Unfortunately, too many of us live in homes with really bad locks and really easy to break into windows. And so security is the real key here. And I think everybody can learn from this.
Okay, and so much information has already been leaked, but what can be done now to protect these officers?
Well, from the standpoint of the personal information, that's going to be obviously a big task, but from the security of the computers themselves, I think, you know, we're looking at the documents as well to figure out if we can try to help them out as far as figuring out how and where this breach occurred, because then they can start to close up some of those holes and probably re-educate the users on the network to say, look, these are the kinds of things that are going to get you into trouble. So if you click on something that you shouldn't have, no matter how much security we have, if you fall for that, you know, there's really not much can be done. So it's really a user behavior issue more than anything else.
And so you said this is definitely something that could have been prevented.
Likely, just based on what I'm seeing here, this is not some major attack. And the hacker community is calling this group kind of what they call script kiddies or push-button hackers. They're not looked at in the hacking community as being very sophisticated. So that combined with the types of documents that we're seeing looks like a real basic kind of breach.
Okay, so now how can other organizations and just people in general just prepare, like get ahead of these hackers' activities? You said there are some browsers that we use every day that we didn't even know could put us in danger.
Yeah, so the browser itself now is a big area that they're going to try to attack you. And that's when you go online and try to just surf around. So educate yourself on some of the additional security items that you can put into the browser themselves. And a lot of them are free. Firefox is probably one of the best to have out there because there's a lot of security add-ons that can keep users from accidentally doing something. You know, when they do it, it stops them. So there's a lot of security software out there that you really need to educate yourself on, both as a consumer and a business user, because everybody's a target these days.
And you were warning me about a particular browser that we use, Safari.
Well, the biggest problem now is that a lot of people ran over to the Apple side because it was safer. It was only safer because they weren't being attacked. We've seen lots of focused attacks now on the Apple operating system, specifically the Safari browser. Safari, the browser itself has been shown to be probably one of the weakest from a security standpoint out there. So if you are using a Mac, think about loading something like Google's Chrome, which has better security built into the browser, or Firefox, so that you can kind of avoid some of these kinds of scams.
All right, Ken Colburn, thank you so much. Back to you, Joe and Faye.